Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Lakhi Singh coming to you live from Paddington Station today. I'm just in the middle of transit actually, just getting into town, and just wanted to make sure that you can be live with me on with Lakhi Singh, the property fixer, and the drive time. We've had some issues today with BJ Sal. He's not able to come in again because of his helicopter. So apologies. But I'm actually in quite a noisy coffee shop. So if you hear a lot of background noise, probably not the best places to be doing the recording today. But I think hopefully you can actually hear me. And I'm going to talk to you today about rescuing my properties, and also how you can make a multi-million pound property portfolio with Rescue My Properties. So just give me 1 second. I'm just going to fix some of my IT on here. So the big question is, well, first of all, here's my coffee. It's really Sabika. I've already had my morning coffee actually this morning to wake me up. Then now, I want to talk to you about the most important topic today. How can you make a multi-million pound property portfolio working with Rescue My Properties? So I think, I'm not sure how many people out there are actually aware of what Rescue My Property does, who we are, what the fixer is about. So let me give you a quick intro. So my name is Lakhi Singh. I've been working in the property industry now for over 30 years. That's 3 whole decades. And it's given me a lot of knowledge in the bottom end, mid end, top end, and ultra high end property, let's say property industry. So sitting in the heart of Mayfair, I'm able to access business at all levels in the property industry. And one of our brands, which is Rescue My Properties, is a brand that helps people that have got property portfolios of all manners of sizes. And in essence, what we can do is that if you're out there and you're looking for an income opportunity or a way of helping people, then all the services we provide people in terms of finance, in terms of litigation or legal work, or even selling a property or buying a property, all those services are provided one place, and that one place is called Rescue My Properties. So if you wanted to become an associate, go out and help people in all manner of situations, then we have that capability to set you up on our platform and get registered with a free registration and become an associate with our company to be able to offer our services out to assist people. We've got a few shout outs this morning as well. Rajesh Malhotra is saying hi, Lakhi, good morning. We've got a few other people coming in from different platforms. We are actually going multi-platform today from our new account. So we've got John Smith, Hazel Parker, Berhan Noor, all giving a shout out. So big shout out to everybody out there that's watching. Okay, so what else do you need to know about Rescue My Properties and what it's about? So how did actually the Rescue My Properties brand get started? Well, I'm actually the original client of Rescue My Properties because 2007, 2008, I had built up a substantial multi-million pound property portfolio myself, but I had issues and I didn't know how to actually grow my portfolio going forward. So I decided to, well, at the time, Rescue My Properties wasn't a brand, but the director of Rescue My Properties, he came to actually help me and assist me and supported me through the process of actually dealing with quite a massive fallout, as I had some massive issues with the banks, with the multi-million portfolio, so a lot of litigation issues, a lot of bridging issues, and a lot of sales issues as well with properties. Now, this is quite a common occurrence for a lot of property portfolios at the time because the interest rates went up and a lot of people got hit with it. Now, there's a lot of talk that the same problem could occur again. So we are in a time now, there's lots of uncertainty with the end of the furlough, the end of the stamp duty holidays, with a lot of the structure around finance, money not being so easily available during COVID-19 anyway, a lot of bridging companies closing down. So there's lots of flux in the market, but there's also talk of a correction. So if that correction occurs in the next couple of months within the year, then there's a huge opportunity to work with Rescue My Properties to not only help people, but also as and when we get off-market opportunities, but otherwise we can assist you in terms of getting out there to get involved in the property market to help people, but also create win-win scenarios where you could also be purchasing assets as well. So there's a whole host of things going on out there, which you can get involved in. You can also improve your learning journey in property. So quite a lot to take in, I think, in this one session. But bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to put some sugar in the coffee. Exciting part. So number one thing in the morning is when we're doing the show, it's very important to enjoy your coffee as well. And do some entertaining moves to keep the audience excited and participative. So while I'm having my coffee, is there any questions about Rescue My Properties anybody has? I think Raj has always got lots of questions. The fact that Raj is available is that you're welcome to come on the show, Raj, if you're watching. So I can send you the link if you're available. So just send us a quick prompt. Because Raj has always got lots of interesting comments about what the economy and Rescue My Properties, because he's seen Lakhi Singh, the property fixer's property journey over the last how many years has it been now? I think we've known each other for about at least 15 years or so, isn't it, Raj? 2005 maybe, 2004. So at least 16 years, I think. It's a long time. So how do you create a multi-million pound property portfolio with Rescue My Properties? So I'm trying to give you some things on a very clinical level so that you know more substantively what you can do. So number one, if you became an associate member now at Rescue My Properties, if you go to the site, you can become a basic member, but we're still offering that out for free at the moment during the duration of the lockdown. We may actually pull the free membership that we're offering in the next couple of months. We're still reviewing on a week-by-week basis. Okay, actually Rajesh is saying he is free to have a chat, so we're going to get him on. So I'm just going to send him the link now. Just give me 1 moment. I don't think I'm very good at multitasking. I'm going to have a go. 1 second. So the link's been sent to Raj, and hopefully he'll be on in a second. He can share his understanding of the Rescue My Properties journey. So while we're waiting for Raj to come on, what are the, let's just say, 5 fundamental strategies of actually creating a multi-million pound portfolio? I'll give you my take. Number 1, you become an associate, and every time you introduce a client, You go out on the social media side. If you've got a good network, you understand property, you understand what type of problems people might have in property. We've got lots of educational videos about everything that we do. We've got over about, I think, 400 or 500 videos now across various platforms on social media. And Raj is, yes, he agrees it is 16 years since we've known each other. Well, so I got that right, luckily. Raj would be very happy if I didn't remember. Is that right, Raj? So number one strategy to make your multi-million portfolio is that you become an associate and you start networking, build up your social media profile. And we've got all the tricks and tools and structures to be able to allow you to put your name out there and get known in the industry. I've got a channel called The Edge where I talk about the tips around social media, also interview people in the property industry, so that's quite handy. We've also got
Hello.
Good morning, Raj. How are you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing fine. How you doing, Lucky? Good to see you again.
Good, good. Thank you. I love the cap. Is that sort of like an American look, sort of like a crocodile hunter or something?
Well, to be honest, I just literally woke up today. Usually I get up early. I get a thing from you.
I suppose. If you're on your way into work, then it's probably the perfect time, isn't it?
Well, I usually I sort of like go for a walk. It's very good for going for a whole walk, going out, get some fresh air.
Coffee while you actually entertain the audience.
Okay, so what's the subject today? Is it about the RMP model?
I'm half joking, obviously, but the subject today is how to create a multi-million property portfolio with Rescue My Properties. But I was about to just going through 5 key points, and I think let me just make those about how people can actually benefit, and then we can have that discussion. I think then people will be a bit more informed about the type of services we provide. So number one, I'm saying you can become a free member now. Up to the time that lockdown's around, we're offering free membership, so you can make money that way. Second thing that people could do is if they join Rescue My Properties, they'll be helping people in all manner of property type issues because it's called Rescue My Properties. So the major ones are if somebody's, let's just say 4 key areas that people can be helped with. Number one is that if somebody's got any sort of legal problems around repossession. So we help stopping of repossession of people losing their assets to the banks. So under repossession, we've got something called LPO receivership, which we're the leading experts in LPO receivers in the country. So what does that actually mean? So LPO receivers are estate agents or surveyors that get appointed, or insolvency practitioners get appointed to take on a property if a tenant isn't actually paying their rent. So if the rent is not being paid, just give me 1 second. Is my croissant ready yet?
8-10 minutes.
Just wave to the camera. So my croissant's not ready yet. I mean,
just can't get the staff these days.
So I think that was just for a bit of a laugh, really, to liven up the show first thing in the morning. But the croissants are really good in this place, actually. It's the best croissants in town. Is that right? Yeah. So anyway, so first bit was receivership, LPO receivers, stopping repossession. So we've got the ability to stop repossession for a household or a homeowner in 24 hours anywhere in the country. So if anybody's struggling with that issue, we can definitely assist. I mean, it's a pretty amazing service. And with LPO receivers, a lot of people don't know what that is. For the leading specialists, what does it mean to people? Basically, we are the dog's cojones when it comes to legal work. I'm not sure a lot of legal practitioners would actually say it in that way, would they? I don't think. That's more of like a VJ Sal type statement, isn't it? I think I'll bring up to that level. So basically, LPA receiverships where on a commercial property, let's say a buy-to-let or office block or industrial block or a hotel, the person that's actually taken on debt finance from a lender, a mortgage lender or a bank or investment bank, larger sort of commercial assets, they haven't paid, they missed a payment, they're in arrears, or they've broken some terms in the contract. For example, they said that they would do X and they've done Y. For any one of those reasons, the bank can literally, like that, point receivers. And what does the receivership mean? That you can change the lock, they can start collecting the rent, and they've got the power of sale. So a lot of people don't really know these things because this is a specialist area, and a lot of the knowledge and information, even on TV, about debt collection, etc., is always based upon sort of commercial interest, I suppose, or getting consumer audiences. But not many people focus in on the landlord who's about to lose their assets. They usually focus on the collections for the bank, the person that's collecting. They don't focus on the person that's about to lose. So we're the only company in the UK, I would say, that actually is very much focused on the person that's got the issue, and we assist them in actually restructuring those assets or negotiating with the bank and stopping that repossession, or dealing with the receivers and checking that they follow the right protocols. So that's number two, I would say, thing that somebody would need to know, is that basically legally we are excellent.
Well, so it seems like a very, I wouldn't even say relevant service, I'd say a necessary service, especially with what's happening at the moment with the property market, because two things are coming to an end soon, the stamp duty and the furlough. So, stopping, helping them, helping the landlords and possibly even the tenants anywhere in the country seems to me like a vital and necessary service. You could almost say that you're like the ambulance service for property people in some sense.
I mean that's a very good, you've hit, in fact you're a couple of steps ahead, Raj, because what VJ Sal typically says, we're like the third emergency service.
Third emergency service, yes, that's what I was getting at.
I mean, so I suppose the first emergency service is what, the police, second one is the ambulance, and the third one now is Rescue My Properties. We have people in, I suppose it's mostly mental health and financial issues, because it's a different type. So that could be a quite good title, isn't it, for the next show, maybe, Raj, when you come on at some stage. You could call it the third
emergency service.
Good tagline. So we're working with a couple of new people in our social media department. So if they're watching, a young lady called Rona, who's actually going to work with us, and she's this might be a good tagline, Rona, called the third emergency service. I love that.
Yeah, I think it would be ideal. Third emergency service. You heard it here first, good, folks.
Okay. I love that. So point two is that the third emergency service, we can help you with LPA receivers and stopping repossession. So I've broken these points down into like 4 or 5 segments. So the third segment is that if somebody's got, let's say, those sort of issues, typically they want to raise finance. So we can access any type of finance that you can think of, probably over about 500, 600 different strategies for raising finance, from raising 10 quid. That was a bit of a joke, of course, not 10 quid, maybe 20 quid. From, let's just say, anything from about 40, 50,000 going up to 5, 10 billion. So we're very broad in terms of scopes, but majority of the clients we typically tend to help tend to be around 50 to $1 million in terms of raising finance. But we also specialize in between 1 to 5 million, and then 1 million, 5 million plus. That's also there as well in terms of our panel. So we're quite broad in terms of what we can do, but 80% of cases that we handle tend to be sort of below 1 million. But average size is around 200 to 500,000 in terms of bridging or refinancing. So what does that actually mean, and how does that help somebody build up their multi-million pound portfolio? So what it means is, if you've got a portfolio, you want to refinance? Yes, we can. You want to bridge because you want to buy something quickly? Yes, we can. Looking for a business loan, from a bounce back to a recovery loan to a CBILS, all these government-backed loans? Yes, we can. Looking for a business loan in general from a bank, secured against your commercial assets or your personal home, you're not sure how to structure it? Yes, we can.
That's another good tagline, I think. Yes, we can. Whatever your issue with property is, yes, we can.
Barack Obama, actually. Remember the Yes We Can campaign when he won the elections. Yes, we can. Can we? So then, in terms of finance, somebody's looking for a potentially, basically all unregulated lending we can do. We also have access to a panel of regulated lenders we can refer you to as well. Pretty much the whole of market. We've got about 20 or 30 brokers that we work with that can do that. So
you've got a wide access to the whole of the market in a way. So you've got finance ranges from, say, £2,000 up to millions, but you've also got 20, 30 brokers, and that's good to know, because if you say you go to a bank or building society or even a certain broker.
Hold on. This is very important, Raj.
Oh, right. The possum's come, is it?
What do you reckon? Should I go for plain, almond, or chocolate?
I think you should go for an almond.
Hey?
Almond. Chocolate and almond. So, can you send me one through the social media
thing? Can I have a chocolate and a
almond
and the other one and a plain one? Chocolate. I can't have two naughty ones. Just one plain one and one chocolate one.
See, that's the whole of the market.
Using this whole coffee shop today as a studio to start filming.
I think it's a good idea. I think you should start filming regularly. Do one from your office and one from the coffee shop.
So this is going live to 40,000-50,000 people here. Look. So there we go. You're famous now.
Hello, 40,000-50,000 people.
Hi. Sorry. What's your name? Varta. So this is Varta.
Hello, Varta.
Especially for me. Look. So we go.
Wow. That is it. That looks yummy.
Actually, I'm doing his job for him now. He's probably thinking, what's this guy doing? Okay, where are you from, Varta?
Armenia.
From Armenia. And how do you say thank you?
Salavat
kalasum. There we go. Salavat kalasum means thank you in Armenian.
Wow.
And I'm not sure if I'm going to get through all of that.
Look at that.
Lunch or something. Oh, okay. A lot of excitement today in terms of croissants and the third emergency service. The taglines come out. We talked about the repossession side, the legal side, and we've also talked about the finance side. I think we're just about to go through a bit more about that. Let me just complete that. So we can do first charge bridging, second charge bridging. We can do development funding. We can do large international infrastructure projects funding. But reality, most of the funding we tend to do is mostly smaller bridge loans, second charge, because the clients need money quickly. So they tend to be quick lending for people who've got maybe like a debt issue. They've got bad credit, or they've made bankrupt in the past. So they're finding it difficult to get money from traditional means. They come to us for specialist unsecured lenders. So I've got the access to those sort of lenders on our panel.
Okay.
And in our team, we've got somebody working full time who actually manages that panel. So all very exciting. So that was the third part. Any points about funding, Raj? Because you always have something interesting to say or a little snippet.
Well, I would say that, like I was saying before, you tuck it into your chocolate and a plain almond, and I have to say I'm very jealous because I love croissants, is the fact that if you go to, where do first people go to when they want to get a loan, any kind of loan? Bank, building society, but they are tied. So let's just take, I don't know, Barclays. You want to get a loan, you need some financing, right? You go there. Now I think you do it on the phone or internet. Now you don't even meet anyone, but they'll be tied to that particular bank. Whereas if you get in touch with Lakhi at Rescue My Properties, like he said, he's got a wide range of options of financing, alternative financing, whether you need it a bridging loan. Sorry, Mike, I keep moving the camera. I'm on my phone at the moment. Bridging loan, or if you need it short-term cash flow issues. You've got the wide range of options. And like he said, he's got access to over 20 to 30 brokers. I mean, why wouldn't you get in touch? As far as I'm concerned, and I know I use this term very often, it's a no-brainer. RMP has been around a long time, very established company. They've got, like we've just discussed, they're like the third emergency service, especially for property people. Now, I can definitely vouch for it because I used to be in property as an estate agent. So, my first passion really is property and housing, but looking for finance. I mean, even if you're building your, say, buy-to-let portfolio, and you're looking for financing, access to finance is very important. So going back to what Lakhi said about financing options, they've got a wide range from a few £100 to millions, and if supposing, take me as an example, I was looking to maybe start or create a property portfolio, which something I am looking into. My first port of call wouldn't be going to my local bank or building society, because I know exactly what they're gonna make me jump through so many hoops and hurdles. I'd be qualifying for this year's Olympics. Whereas if we go to someone like Lakhi and his team, he's got a specialized team in place that have experts, right? Expert knowledge, but more importantly, there is funding option that they can find you. And contrary to popular belief, despite the pandemic and impact of Brexit, which we'll leave for another day, there are places that have money, and Rescue My Properties is one of them. So anyone watching this, and I know the channel is getting better and better, more and more people are viewing, get in touch with Lakhi, get in touch with his team. Sorry, over to you, Lakhi. I know you're enjoying that nice, delicious chocolate.
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to continue for about at least half an hour while I munch in. Okay.
Yeah, so like I said, it's what a better word is a no-brainer. Get in touch with his team. He has access to funding options. Lakhi's been in the property field for over 20, maybe longer than that, 20 years. He's built a huge portfolio. He knows property inside out, not just how to build a portfolio. He knows how to deal with many people, because when you're doing property, you do need what's called a power team behind you as well. And you need someone who can guide you through the pitfalls of property, because at the end of the day, property is one of probably the best vehicles for not only financial independence, for wealth creation. I mean, if we just take example at the moment during the pandemic, property prices have just gone up even more. You know, people are saying, "What's? I don't understand it. We're on lockdown. The cases are going up, but property prices are going up because well, for want of a better word, the virus doesn't affect property for a start, because it's, even though it's tangible, it's not really a living thing. Well, maybe it might be a living thing, but that's a conversation with VJ Sal for another time. But going back to
okay, right. So what I'll do is let me summarize where we are. We'll get some more. So number one, you can get basic membership to make an income from an introducer. Number two is you can easily start introducing clients that have got some sort of repossession or a possession issue or eviction issue. Thirdly, if you're looking for finance, we can assist in bridging, buy-to-let, refinance, restructuring, all sort of unregulated funding type work we can do. You've got access to family offices, joint venture partners, development funders, etc., etc. And so the next topic is around negative equity.
Oh, that's a big one.
We're writing off negative equity, so we can write off negative equity debt down to zero, settle your debts, and give you a clean credit report.
Wow.
We can write off the negative equity on our property portfolio. We can, it takes about 6 months to a year tops, but quickest is about 3 to 6 months. Restructure you, and then we can sell on your, we'll basically get all your debt negotiated down to zero. So you could actually continue with a debt-free type life. So that's a biggie.
I think that's one of the big ones, because there are going to be many people. Sorry, excuse me, I'm on the phone. Many people out there that may have negative equity, and for people that, I know a lot of people know about what negative equity, but negative equity is where your mortgage on your property is more than the value of the property. So when people talk about equity, it's a difference between the mortgage and the value of the property. So say if the property, if you I can't remember the word, I'm just going to enlighten the audience while you have your delicious croissant and your cup of coffee there, Lucky, is where, let's say your property is worth £750,000, but your mortgage payments are £800,000, right? So you're in negative equity because you owe more on the debt, and despite what people think, mortgage is a debt because you have to pay it. You then, in this case, you get in touch with Lucky and his team. Lucky then will do his magic wizardry a la Harry Potter, and get your negative equity down to zero. So then you're debt free, and it doesn't affect you. I mean, that's a big one. Even I'm very impressed with that. And imagine, you won't have to have sleepless nights, because all this stuff, the debt is a very stressful. I've been in debt myself, and it's very stressful. It can affect your health, your physical health, your mental health, your relationships with your family, because you've got this Damocles sword above you each morning. So I would definitely get in touch with Lucky, and as even though the property market is going up, the property market goes in cycles. Like in the last financial crisis, and Lucky would echo these comments. A lot of people had their properties going into negative equity, and in some cases repossession. Because at the end of the day, when someone says to me, and maybe Lucky's had this conversation with people, so do you own your own property? Yes, I do. Do you have a mortgage on it? Yes. Okay, you own your own property, you have a mortgage, but try missing a couple of mortgage payments and you find out who the real owner of the property is. I just want to put that out there. So this is a real big one, which ties into what we were saying earlier, that Rescue My Properties is the third emergency service for all your property needs. You've got it under one roof. You know, a lot of property companies out there, and what one property company does, all property companies do well, but they don't always have access to the range of services that Rescue My Properties have. Now, I know people out there will still say, yeah, Rajesh, you got a good point there, but you know, but don't wait. You know, get in touch, have a call with Lakhi. You know, he's got so much knowledge. Even if you don't continue the journey, at least you've got some idea of it. The timing might be right now, but I think the timing is absolutely perfect, because we are going to discuss this on another podcast. Furlough will be coming to an end. We don't know if Rishi to the rescue Sunak is going to extend the furlough scheme. You know, it sometimes seems to me that Rishi is one of these guys, and I apologize, Rishi, for this, but analogy would be like he's going to the casino and putting everything on black, on red, and it's going around the roulette table. Oh, it's on black. Okay, I'll extend it for another 6 months. It's on red this time. In this case, I think the furlough scheme is going to come to the end. And the same with the stamp duty. As soon as stamp duty comes to an end, it's going to affect the property market. So I would get in touch with Rescue My Properties, yeah, especially with the last point about turning your negative equity to zero. I don't know many companies that do that in the market. You know, that is a specialist service, very specialist.
Okay,
so
Raj, I appreciate give me some time to eat my croissant. You're having what you're having there?
Jealous, by the way. Next time I come down, I want 5 croissants.
Well, definitely, we'll have to have a croissant session. I think that's the most croissants I've had in one day. I think.
So it's back to the gym tomorrow. Back to the gym tomorrow, or hockey. Is a hockey playing?
I did actually, believe it or not, I did actually go to the gym 4 times this week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So if I can go in today even for half an hour, then I would have done really well.
I just want to point out to the viewers that Lakhi doesn't actually sleep. What happens is when he goes home and has dinner, maybe watches a little bit of TV, he has this cupboard. And then what happens is he opens the cupboard, takes the wind out key from his back, and then goes into the cupboard and then just stands like that and then closes his eyes. And then it's time for him to get up. He opens the cupboard, refresh, has a shower, and he's back in the office. So I just want to make it now. But he is a real person, by the way. So.
Okay, well, yeah, I think there is a little bit of craziness in terms of times and things. Because this week, you won't believe it, I have actually been having 5 o'clock conference calls nearly every morning.
Well, like I said, you know, it's I wouldn't even say that's crazy. Isn't that normal for you?
Well, not necessarily. I try to avoid 5 o'clock morning meetings.
Are you now part of the 5 a.m. club, this illustrious 5 a.m. club that
I think we need to set up like the 3 a.m. club or something like that, just to try and be ahead of everybody.
Well, you could go by 4 a.m. club. That still beats it by an hour, you know. But yeah, going back to
I mean, I think on the day of the football.
Football? What's that? Oh, is the football on? Oh, I didn't know.
On Wednesday night, the day of the football that was on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I think started at 5 in the morning, then watched the football. When I got home, I actually then started watching the football match again at 12 o'clock after watching it out with friends.
The replay.
And then I thought, actually, this is not a good idea. I've already watched it once, so I wanted to try and enjoy it more, try and sort of see the dynamics of the game by having quiet as well at home.
Yeah. The analogy of football, in a way,
getting quite noisy in the coffee shop now. So.
Oh dear, we've got the early morning crowd.
Yeah. So they're just talking about people sort of met each other. So I'm just looking at the dynamics now. Being nosy.
Maybe go up to them and say, have you ever thought about
say again, sorry?
Have you ever thought about do you own your own property? Have you ever thought about getting equity out of your property? That's what you should ask them. You know, any opportunity.
Let me just finish the point. Yeah, so for 1 o'clock, went to sleep on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
That's technically Thursday morning. Then I had to get up again Thursday morning at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Whoa! So you had
then I had the whole day yesterday, and then I went to finish yesterday at 8:30 as well. So you're right. It has actually been one of those weeks. It's not always this busy, to be honest, but we're being able to ramp up a bit on everything, social media, on the internet.
You heard it here first, folks. That successful people like Lakhi, they manage their time in a way, and then sometimes they have loads of things going on, but they keep perspective, which is one of the other reasons why you need to get in touch with Lakhi, because he's a very good, I would say, coach and mentor. With not just with business issues and financial issues, just in general. He's got that drive and that purpose, and that's what you need. I know I digress a bit, but and I am a fan, obviously. But for people looking out there that at the moment and trying to work out what's going on, even me sometimes. I'm super productive, and other days the duvet feels really heavy. But going back to Lakhi's points about the services they provide, I mean, I don't know very many companies that do all the services under one roof. You've got finance, access to finance, whole of the market, repossessions, negative equity, restructuring your portfolio. So if there's any landlords out there.
The other last one is that maybe you collaborate, because it's getting a bit noisy in the coffee shop. You've got a lot of people having quite interesting conversations. So I'm sort of trying not to eavesdrop.
Sometimes it's difficult because, we're as humans.
Try to join in and sort of like get into the conversation as well.
Actually. Well, yeah, why don't you join in, and then I can say hi, and so can all the viewers.
You make very good sort of fly on the wall type document.
I think we should do one.
The last point which we elaborate on, so while it's getting noisy in here, is that we're also launching a prop tech to compete against Rightmove.
Oh yes. I remember you mentioned.
So we did quite an interesting interview with Jack Dowra, who's actually launched a prop tech as well.
Jack Dowra, since then, me and Jack Dowra have been quite. I know it's I don't know if I should mention this, but I got in touch with Jack after watching your interview with him, which I thought was one of the best interviews. Obviously, after our interviews, don't want to brag, but I got in touch with Jack, and I've joined his network. And the guy is he's like you. He's like a you, not when you started, but a you maybe 5 years behind or 10 years behind, because he's just like a fireball. He's literally got so much. I've been watching his training programs as well, and I know you gave him a lot of advice. See, look at this. Jack came on Lakhi's podcast, right? And Jack is so experienced. I mean, his story is inspirational. He came here with nothing. Built up a chauffeur company, sold it, then started property, and even he recognizes Lakhi as his mentor. So what does that tell you? That tells you that, Lakhi's. I mean, what I would like to do is literally clone Lakhi, right? And I know that sounds a bit surreal. Put him in a blender, have him as a smoothie each morning, and then, hey, presto, I've got the same amount of knowledge as Lakhi has. But kidding aside, you were saying, sorry, Lakhi, you were saying about you had Jack on the show. Yeah, sorry, I tend to ramble on, but
that's fine. I think Jack's an inspiration. I think we've got a lot of
wouldn't necessarily place myself as a mentor to him. Actually, I think I think he's got a lot of knowledge in the sector. So I think we've got a lot of knowledge sharing we could be doing actually. So I think
complementary skills. Yes, definitely.
The key point is that. So the last one was we're also specialists in complex property sales and purchases or acquisitions for startup, mid-tier, and ultra-high net clients. So that makes Rescue My Properties model quite holistic across the board. So you're right. You got you can join us. You can, if you want to build a property portfolio, we've got a lot of litigation work. We do a lot of finance work. We do a lot of complex sales work. So if you're trying to build a portfolio, you need to bring it all together. So the last bit I'd say to you is that we run a consultancy arm.
Okay.
And that the finance arm of the business that we do, that are unregulated commercial lending, actually falls under a company called Management Consultants for You. So within that, we can advise on doing your business plan. So for example, we had a client in yesterday. Can't go into too much detail. He's got 3 nightclubs to sell.
Okay.
And he had, let's say, X price he wanted to sell it for. Let's just give just a round number for the moment. Let's just say it's £500,000. You want to sell these 3, they're quite small nightclubs. There's a possibility if we structure the deal correctly for him, we may be able to sell it for $1 million. We may be able to double it, because he doesn't have the technical knowledge around assets in terms of valuations, in terms of lease terms, in terms of goodwill and business access and bricks and mortar and the business within a commercial asset. So we're not just experienced in the residential sector in terms of helping people with their personal properties. We can do complex stuff within our consultancy arm. Okay. So that clients, been given some homework to do. For
want of a better word.
When he comes back and said, this is what you need to do. So we, between myself and the other team, we've got about 20 people in the company now.
Oh, that's great. Well done.
We basically are sort of scaling up to assist people in, helping people in their sort of financial issues. And I think Rescue My Properties is pretty comprehensive. If it's doing negative equity write-off, sales, lettings, purchasing, buying. So somewhat there's a lot of similarities between us and what Jack Dara does. I mean, we have actually collaborated on a few clients and a few projects, and I think as time goes on, we'll probably start collaborating on more.
Okay.
But there's only so much when it comes to slightly complicated clients. There's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
I think there will be potentials of quite a lot of collaboration actually as the market starts to change or there's more flux.
Yeah, I like that word actually, collaboration, because there is a lot of, the word that usually is used is competition, whereas here in this case collaboration is you're collaborating or joint venturing in a way. But I like the word collaboration because it's a positive dynamic word, and it's a partnership where it's a win-win for all parties. I've experienced this in the property industry myself, where it's when you're going in for negotiations, it's like, oh, I need to get a better deal than the other person, whereas say in your clients' cases, you're looking for a win for them as well as a win for yourself. So in a way, you're not, although they're a client of yours, you're helping them. So and also with Jack of Penn, we're Property Entrepreneurs Network, it is a collaboration on your PropTech, and in this case, you both have a win-win situation, and that's what you need to look at. Anyone that's doing property out there or watching this, always look for a win-win situation. Don't look at the way. I know I digress a bit, but I find I'm very passionate about this. Is that if you're helping someone, be genuine and sincere about it, because at the end of the day, they're going through pain. They may be going through what we call, if you're taking on a property on from a landlord, maybe there's a rent to rent. That landlord may not be able to get the tenants, and you look at doing a win-win for them. You know, you say, look, I'll take the property off, and then I'll look for tenants for you, but do it in a way that, you know, it makes commercial sense. Yes, don't get me wrong. It has to make, the numbers have to work, but also that it becomes a win-win, because that person will be your raving fan, that they will refer you to possibly other rent landlords. They may have other portfolios, and it's the same with what Lakhi is doing. If you're in negative equity, or you're going into what you're worried, you're having sleepless nights, don't do what I call the ostrich syndrome. Is put your head, I think it's in the sand, is it? Ostrich, be an ostrich, for want of a better word. Reach out. If you feel a bit embarrassed or intimidated, doesn't matter. Just call out, reach out, talk to Lakhi. If you want to get in contact with me, get in contact with me, and then I can refer you to Lakhi. It doesn't matter. But going back to what Lakhi said, he's got everything under one roof. You know, whether you want to join as an associate consultant with Rescue My Properties, and like Lakhi said, it's free at the moment. I mean, normal membership's £2,000 once we come in lockdown. Why not take advantage of the offer? It's a no-brainer, you know. Go to the website, click on it, watch the videos. You got the handsome and dashing VJ Salim doing the videos on there, explaining about the model. Or if you're a landlord and you're thinking, I've got all this legislation to deal with, get in touch with Lakhi. And I just want to say one other thing, if it's all right, Lakhi, if you let me indulge me, because I know you've just indulged in those delicious croissants, if you're, on a side note, I've just recently launched what's called, for want of a better word, a sales coaching and training program for estate agency owners and their staff. So I know that the market is booming at the moment. You've got instructions and valuations coming out your ears. You've got a queue of buyers. But what about your time management? Are you tied to your business 24/7? Yeah. Are you literally going in the morning, coming out at night, not being able to see your family, kissing your partner, your wife, your kids, don't have time for hobbies, don't have time for the gym? Then get in touch with me. Let's have a free call. There's nothing to lose. I don't bite. Probably only if I get out the wrong side of the bed, but otherwise I don't bite. You know, let's have a conversation. But and same with Lakhi. Look, he does this. You know, he does this. He takes time out of his busy schedule, you know, to share his knowledge, his skills that he's accumulated over years. This isn't stuff that one day, you know, he woke up and it suddenly came into his brain. This is stuff that he accumulated. He's made mistakes. He's learned from those mistakes, and you know, I would class Lakhi a chameleon. He's managed to adapt to different environments. So yeah. So a chameleon. Yeah. Not if you want a comedian, then obviously you have to watch more of VJ Sal's. I
think VJ Sal got the comic.
Yeah, he's a barrel of laughs.
Witted, isn't he?
Yeah, he is very witty, and hopefully, you know, when his helicopter is back out of the, he's been in there for quite some time. Actually, I haven't seen him for quite some time. I know you've been hosting more of the podcast, which is good because, you know, I know you only started about a month or so ago with your first interview with, I think it was with the ever gracious and another real entrepreneur that I admire and I always watch is Ninder Singh Johar. You know, he's another guy that I really look up to, and I watch his podcast as well, The Business Influencer. So a shout out to Ninder. You're doing a great job there as well, Ninder. He's adapted. But yeah, I mean, sorry, over to you, Lakhi.
Okay, so let me just sort of multitasking here.
I've tried multitasking. You're probably better at it than I am, because I usually have the TV on, then I'm on with the laptop while listening to a podcast and writing notes. Folks, I think maybe focus on one or two things at the same time when you're multitasking. 4 things, no. Unless Lucky's got any ideas on that. Maybe that's for another podcast.
Just give me 1 second. Here we go. So, right. So, okay. So what I want to do is, we've got about another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a lot of interesting things happening. We're looking to start up to go up live on LinkedIn as a potential thing. So if anybody's on getting live on LinkedIn, let us know. We're happy to work with you.
I would be interested, because I'll be honest with you. LinkedIn sometimes is a bit of a I don't know if you agree with me on this, Lucky, but can be a bit pitchy. So I think it's a case of you know, doing it the correct way. So I would definitely be up for that. But sorry, go ahead. You were saying.
What it is we're looking at lots of new platforms. I mean, I'm already on TikTok. On a personal level, I'm TikTok and Facebook.
Dancing sensation.
Just restructuring the whole Facebook group now, and we're about to relaunch what we're doing to make it a bit more focused for lots of different business units we've got. So we're just having a bit of a reshuffle around on certain bits, but nothing that anybody will really notice majorly. So there's quite a lot going on from a social media point of view. But going back to making a multi-million pound property portfolio, because I like to try and make sure we cover the topic that we've got.
Yeah.
Your topic. So in summary, you can become a member for free. You can take advantage of our legal services to help yourself or your clients.
No brainer.
We've got finance requirements. You can help yourself or your clients with any financial requirement they've got, because we're very holistic in what we do.
No brainer.
Negative equity debt, if you've got anybody who's got those type of issues. It could just be negative cash flow. It doesn't have to be negative equity. We can help in all manner of ways.
No brainer.
Helping them to raise funds from joint venture partners, etc. In addition, you know, we can help you with your sales or your purchasing. So, on top of all of that, we've got a consultancy arm which can help you do the planning, your tax planning, your limited company, how to sort of see the wood for the trees. If you've got quite a sophisticated portfolio, you know, what's your next plan? You know, if you've already financially free with your portfolio, you know, what should you do now? Should you sort of look to sell? Should you be looking to buy? You know, what the strategies you should be looking to adopt? You should be looking to consolidate. So all these critical questions that may be going through your head regarding starting or being in a okay position or getting Mandy's asking, when do you get access to Rescue My Properties? And we've actually had a bit of a glitch with the tech actually for Rescue My Properties, so that's actually taking longer. But I think it is available now, but we've done it in a very personalized format, so people have a lot more access to me to provide leads, and I can sort of help them in the interim. So we're not taking on.
Nope. I think you're on. I think we've lost you there, Lucky.
So I just need. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, sure. While he's doing that, viewers, like I said, all the services that Lucky provides, you know, it's under one roof. You know, why wouldn't you get? I mean, whether you're a startup, you know, or beginning your property portfolio, or you're a landlord with 10 years, 20 years experience, looking to restructure your portfolio, because there's a lot of legislation out there, and it can be a minefield, you know. So you need, for want of a better word, the ear of an experienced counsel, you know, and Lakhi and his team, you know, like he said, he's got a team of 20. There's no complicated solution or complex issue or challenge that you have in property that cannot be resolved. But yeah, sorry, back to you, Lakhi.
Okay, so I think we're running out of time now. We're 1 hour in.
Well, I see, time flies when you're having fun, yeah?
The office now from Paddington. So, so in summary, if you're looking to build a multi-million pound portfolio, you haven't got far to go. You just have to come and see Lakhi Singh. We can assist you. If you've got funds to invest, or you're looking to become an associate, it's a really good way of actually starting off into property and getting involved in terms of assisting people. So if you want to just get a bit of a flavor, just go to rescuemyproperties.co.uk and just go to the YouTube clips, and you'll see lots of videos about what the whole thing is about, and basically take it from there. So thank you very much, Raj, for coming on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Words of wisdom, because you always have something interesting to say. And
I appreciate. I'm always appreciate. You know, that you and VJ call me on as a regular guest. I'm very humbled. Believe me, I'm very humbled, and I'm honoured. Anytime you want me on, I'm happy to be here. You know, and like you said, Lakhi is, we've known each other a long time, and I not only look at him as a mentor, I look at him as an older brother. So if I'm stuck, he contacts me from time to time just to see how I am, you know, and that is a relationship that I take very, very seriously. So, you know, I'm always appreciate to come in and talk to, and also to the viewers. You know, I mean, I'm just a normal guy. That's it. I'm nothing special, but I've got knowledge that if anyone wants to contact or just, you know, have a chat. And I once again, I echo everything Lakhi says. You know, if you've got challenges with your property portfolio, or you're looking for an opportunity, I mean, you can use social media at the moment to be a Rescue My Properties associate consultant. It's free. Jesus Christ, free. Yeah, free. FREE. Sorry, I just wanted to emphasize that point there.
Raj, I think we're way over time. We're about 2 minutes over, but appreciate Raj coming on. And if anybody's interested in real estate, as an estate agency, want to get sales advice, expertise, then do speak to Raj. And if you are looking to grow a multi-million pound property portfolio, happy to help, happy to assist. Yeah. And if anybody's got any sort of issues in property that you think we can assist with, do get them to contact us, especially if it's around negative equity or LP receivers or stopping repossession, bridging finance, or a quick sale. All right, guys, take care.
All right, that's great. Have a great day, Lakhi. Thanks very much.
The property fixer, and Raj Malhotra, the sales expert on the estate agency.
Yeah, a knockout sales specialist. That's what my moniker is, a knockout sales specialist. But see you next